Welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u Zoom call for January 19th, 2022. We're here on Cathy's website, CathyDSlaght.com. We're going to scroll down. We're going to look for this Zoom banner where we'll click through. If you'd like to be part of Cathy's SRC4u Daily Energy Clearing Group, the information's here. Register. If you'd like to follow Cathy and her tweets, she's on Twitter. You can scroll down and see all the information, or you can click right here, and this will take you right over to her Twitter account where you can see everything right from her Twitter account. We're going to go back over under our website. We're going to click through to the Zoom call, which is in progress right now. So you may want to lower your speaker volume as it will be loud.
Have you looked at that Alex Lloyd's trilogy?
No.
That's new. That came up on Facebook.
Okay.
It's really simple. It's EFT, energy medicine, Donna's energy medicine, and the healing codes.
Yes.
It takes 3 minutes and 3 prayers, and it's really simple.
Well, a friend of mine is doing the healing codes now. She's got a lot of physical pain, and it's really working. So I've got to dig my book out and look at it again. And it's powerful work, his work. So, well, here we are.
What is this, Alex Lloyd?
Yeah, he does the healing codes. And I looked at it years ago, and how I guess I was fragmented. I've gone all different directions. But it is just a matter of holding your hands in certain positions. And he actually he's according to the way he would put it, he was downloaded with that information. He had a wife suffered from such severe depression. And he was actually on a flight out of town and called her, as I recall, it's been years since I read the book, and called her and could tell by her voice that she was in bad shape again, and of course there the children were with her, etc. And he went into prayer on the plane and got the information during that time from the healing codes. And it does, my friend who's working with it, it's really helping her pain.
I think you should look at that trilogy.
I will. Thank you very much.
It's just really simple. Thank you.
Thank you. And
yeah, sure that too.
And where is that? Is that on Scribed or YouTube?
There's a free session that explains it all on Facebook. Okay. I'm not sure if it's other places too, but that's where I found it.
I'm just gonna make a note here.
I'll look around. I am not a fan of Facebook. I'm
not either.
You might be able to find it if you just Googled Alex Lloyd and then trilogy. Because I did go on that to see if it explained it more.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you. Well, let me show you. I missed you all the last few days, but we had some interesting things going on. I'm absolutely now shown that we do a lot better when we get some kind of beginning scan. I noticed that when I was just focused on only the chakra work and didn't do this scan, a lot more people needed extra energy. So I'm going to share this scan. This is just very subtle stuff that changes all the time. I don't know if anybody's interested or not, but I am sending it here. And let's go in here now. And we've got ourselves ready, but I want to show you what our scan looked like today. And I don't know if anybody is feeling any strange energy or not, but you're going to see there seems to be, I don't know if they went ahead and turned up the 5G or not, but you're going to see a lot of energetic stress. But anyway, it almost is easier for those who aren't comfortable with the doing an Excel spreadsheet to do this one. Just paste it once you scan, because then you can see up here if you want to add any of these things. We did not today, but let's just go ahead and put some of this in, and then I think you're going to be interested in our deeper scan, and then a few other things to share. My dog up here. There we go. And so we're seeing a bit of a chronic stress there with this activate lines of force. Let's see if a shin. No. Okay, we'll take a charge, so let's go here and do it that way. While we're doing this, I did get a little ebook about the words to ponder ready to go now to Joanna to be formatted. And it's amazing how many messages you can get from these words to ponder. And I wanted to do that in reference to Ray, because Ray was the one I talked with, Terry. He worked forever on those words to ponder, pulling them together. And then with it, I got, which was another real exercise in mental health. I think I've got all our Grabavoy codes together, as I had them scattered all throughout, and that'll go with it. And then Ray had left us with some special SSTTs, and I talked with Grandmaster, and it looks like he's going to let me share those. For some reason, Ray had said hold off on that. And so we'll have that information.
How is Terry doing, Cathy?
Good and bad days.
Of course.
Good and bad, yeah. Now we're actually taking quite a bit of energy here for this lines of force code. And, you know, when you read about Grabavoy, and did anybody get in there for that webinar? Because I was working, I didn't get to. I'm gonna have to look it up and see what I can download.
No, I tried to get in there, but it didn't work.
Yeah, oh, really? Okay.
I was in there, but I quit. I had something going on an hour in, so I but I did get the replay, so.
Oh, good.
Oh, you got it? You got it?
I would love it if you can share that. If they let you share that, I would love it.
Oh, I
I'll
would
see if
too.
they'll let me.
Yeah, because Grabavoy, of course, he used a lot of geometric shapes with these codes, and he did some powerful work, and he shared all of it. And I think, you know, we didn't have this kind. Okay, so we want actually. I think now I need to look in here and see. So we want 9 minutes here for this lines of force. So what you can actually do, so you don't, or as in my case at least, forget, I've got, let me just look here, I've got me going, I do my own scan every morning. So I can go in there.
Catherine.
Yes.
Is Grabavoy still alive?
You know, I believe he is.
Because I know I've seen somebody who's only like in his 60s or something like that.
Yeah, he would not be up in years because he was born in 63. And so.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Yeah. Doc knew him, our friend Doc. knew Grabavoy. He had done quite a bit in Russia, and he was a Russian translator, and he knew Grabavoy. So I guess he's still with us. I think he did some prison time even.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So here we've got antidotes to the dark plan. And you know, the key here also, you're getting information on this, and I'm gonna, oh, that one looking pretty good. Look here at the deeper scan. We wanted allergy. So then I went in and did the allergy scan, and I've got that in your notes for today for anybody that wants it. And it's electromagnetic, and that's what I'm seeing when I did my own scan as well. I think they may have gone ahead and turned up the 5G, I don't know. But that you can see, that's our top, is this electromagnetic stress. And
Cathy,
so,
the other thing I've been hearing from a lot of people is massive chemtrails.
okay, that might be it as well. All right.
Yeah.
So
I read something yesterday that they still couldn't do the 5G because it would interfere with flights, and there was something else that they hadn't mentioned before.
yeah, and I thought that's what I thought too. But there's something that happened because it was in my energy, and then it is in the group energy. So I went in with I put in here energetic stress for the Pro Tools. Now for the soul imaging, we went ahead and did it, energetic stress, balance that out. So we'll give it some time to let it set in, but it wouldn't hurt. And just see what else we're talking about here. And then for the QiGong, let's get in there.
QiGong really befuddles me. I never know what to run.
I know it. I agree with you on that. We need to learn more about that, and I'm sure we can. There's a good 5G cocktail in here. Let me get it in. Go to the data. 5G. No, I'm still not. No, that's not it. Let me try it one more time. I had it this morning. I should have just gone ahead and loaded it, but I wanted to show you.
Where does all that come from anyway?
What come from?
The 5G.
Oh, that's your towers. Well, I'm gonna have trouble with that. Yeah.
You know.
Back on the chemtrails, I just read the other day, and I don't remember if it's just scramble frequencies, but Raymond Grace and his material, one of his materials, he mentions about the chemtrails, and I think he said to scramble the frequency for them.
That's an excellent, and Karen Barnett sent me a good phrase also for that I'll include in our notes today. So yeah, I don't think it hurts to do these things on a regular basis. I'll find that cocktail later and put it in the notes. But let's go in here also to the dispenser.
Here's a thought. What if we douse to clear the energy as a group?
I don't see any harm with that at all.
I don't. It just came
Not
to me.
at all.
I just wanted to throw it out.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great idea.
Yes, sirree.
That one of the words to ponder is something to the effect of don't ever underestimate the power of a mosquito. So we are kind of like little mosquitoes doing our own little energy, but it really makes a difference, I think.
Don't forget, if you're out and you're not available to do any of this kind of stuff, ask the elementals, the slips, to take care of them. It makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. So here, see, now with the dispenser, which we requested also, we are asking for some essential oils. So we're asking for geranium, Exodus, legacy, and that we are getting that energetically, but if anybody has those oils, probably wouldn't hurt. Going on. It's funny, I do have our earth scan in here, but the group hasn't requested it yet, but a number of individual sessions, they've requested it. And here's our Grabivore. I haven't done that yet, so let's do that right now. We've got a brand new Grabivore. Let me show you this real quickly too first, though, because I think you'll find this interesting. This is the SSTT, and this is one of Ray's new, and we want the EMEX, and that is to clear black magic. And many people think that black magic, when it comes up, could be all this unusual frequency around us. So one thing that's been effective, even though we didn't come up with it in the Pro Tool, is to send some of these energies through the sustenance balancer. That way we're getting it in our water, our food. So if we, let's go ahead and look at this. Let's see a little yang stress, head. What is that? Nose. Okay, lumbar, chest. There it's loaded in. And we don't know where this is coming from, and you know what it is even. We just see heightened energetic stress on a real subtle level. Let's just start it out at the 1 minute. We'll come back and see if that's enough. Then this Grabivore is now a Grabivore, etc. Because I've added a few other little radionics and things like that in here. Well, let's see what we're talking about today. And while we're at it, let's just go clear and balance sacral chakra. And that looks like that's a good thing, and we probably want to do a little more with that. And hopefully the Excel is working again. It's a pretty long scan now, so let's let it go. And I'll show you some of this other while it's going. So anyone who wants this, yeah, I'm going to definitely check this trilogy out. Here's the list. Okay, Now, in studying the chakras, it's really interesting. We see that really I believe anyway, based on everything I've learned, that the only law really is love. And what happens as we clear these chakras, we're talking about mind. It's really, you all know about chakras and you've studied that yourself, but it's really about our mind. And apparently we have 3 levels of mind. We have the doer, which is the body. And that is pretty much what most of us are regulated by. And so, because we can't separate ourselves from it. And so that's all in service to our senses. And what happens, though, as you go along with that, you begin to wonder about some things. And believe it or not, this might be why the suicide rate is up, which it is, because people start wondering and looking into things, and things might not look too good. And so that's something we'll want to talk about. Unfortunately, that could be one aspect of it, but it also could be that a person has a crisis and then begins to go in here to this thinker, which this is where we want to go. Ultimately, I didn't underline that. Let's do that. My basic skills. We want to go into knowledge, and this might be why our glands, we've asked for so much, not today, but so much recharging, clearing, etc. with the glands, because it looks like that's very tied into the pituitary and the pineal. Also, if you really take a good look at our armor scan, which we asked for quite a bit, that's breathing. And then we do have, this other day I wrote this up there, and now there's a code: dismantle the use of terror as a political instrument. And then awakening of mid-chakra. And there's a number for that. I've started adding some of these numbers to our work. My goodness. And this is one you almost have to do the Excel with. Okay, so this is in reference to the strep. We've been seeing some of these come up quite a bit, this strep information. Let's go ahead and and we're going up to the 102. Here's the cranial nerves. We can go down here. We don't need to do each one. You see, we have a lot of zeros. We can add them all at once, but let's see if there's any highlight. Cranial nerves, balance, internal and external energy, basal ganglia, biofilm, blockages. This is this curse thing does come up, and I've got somebody I'm working with right now that I'll keep a lot of notes. And this is a professional woman that really believes she may be a victim of a generational curse. And when you hear what her family has been through, it is very interesting. Her father had been very wealthy, ended up losing everything. Her brother had a similar path and ended up ending his life over it. And now the things she's gone through. So I'll save any notes related to that, but there may be something to it. Here's discernment, efforts to bring down power grid fail, express holy, expose and then clear spiritual possession. I am safe. Now, when you get this list of grabavoids, take out anything you want to take out, but this is what I have, a Bible verse. I bind and cast out every thief that would try to steal my finances in the name of Jesus. That's, suit your own belief system.
That's amazing to me how you use Grabavoid.
Yeah, this Grabavoid was a powerful guy. And what I love about him is that, I think he had a few weird claims. I didn't know till the other day about what he thought about his own work, but he did want to share it, and that I appreciate that. I do want to, Mary, if you can send that replay, I do want to get more involved in that. What he was doing was putting these codes in various spheres and working with them geometrically. I wonder if our SRC is doing the same thing. We really ought to test for it. Anyway, kidney, lower back, numbness, oversensitivity. I like this permanently prosperous. That kind of covers it all. Positive inspiration and eventual change. Prefrontal cortex, remove the veil, shield from spirit attachment, third eye opening, and that's a number 83. That's a radionics, not a code. And here we are again to remove black magic. So that, to me, that's interesting, and I think it is perhaps some kind of shift in us, in our energetic environment.
Well, it's starting to come back up, Cathy. From what I understand, it's going to increase. It's like because we're accreting, we're also going more into the fourth dimension. So that kind of stuff's getting more prevalent. So it's going both ways, the good magicians as well as the ones.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Let's just put that whole list in there. Let me get that on and save that. This 35 code in there. And then you've got down here some of the crystals. One of the things I was reading about Los Angeles and what they're going through there with the, whatever you call it, snatch and grab, etc. And I started sending in also, I had checked it priority for Chi, the energy of the sapphire. And if you Google, you're going to see the energy of the sapphire is quite powerful. And so I saved it as a cocktail. Now, as far as the sacral, we're looking at the carnelian. And let's just douse that in at this moment in time. And that's not just to douse it. It doesn't look like a huge benefit. Let's just see. That comes up a little bit. It doesn't look like it's major. We're doing a manual. Well, let's go ahead and just do that. $17 hours.
Has anybody looked into the phlegm we talked about? And Kevin said it was way deep.
Yeah, Kevin sent some information, and that's on our list. We didn't actually, and even as much as it's mentioned, we didn't register as a priority at this time. But yeah, absolutely, we need to learn more about that. It comes up every time towards the top. Well, yeah. We may have to see if Grandmaster would come in one day as a guest and go over this. And see, there's that phlegm again.
Yeah, it comes up a lot.
Yep. And again, this pericardium, which they say is often in reference not to the physical, but to relationships. There's that phlegm again. Maybe I better go ahead and do it without it being a priority, because it sure is in here. All right, so we've got distrust.
You know, Cathy, when I was going through some stuff with Ray Foley, going back to the when I first started out, he had mentioned the fact that the phlegm, for somehow or other reason or whatever, it got clogged in there, and that's what caused the infection in his body.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense.
I wonder if that would have anything to do with mutated cells.
I bet it would. I'll go over today what Kevin sent me, and I'll put that up for all of us, and let's see what we need to do. Now, this wounded, again, it may not be a negative thing. We'll put it in as a negative thing, but all these things teach us, and sometimes it takes a little push, they say. But yeah, no, I agree with you, Susan. I want to know a little bit more. And look at that. That's a rather significant, and we can just pull up the emotions. Now again, look at that mold. These are all kinds of factors. Weakness, so we know that as our own physical strength increases, we don't resonate with some of this. Words to ponder, stride and strut goeth before a fall, tried and true goeth before a raise. All right. So there's a lot of messages in here with these words to ponder, because we're creating from beneath the conscious level most of the time. So we're looking, for example, at pride. Let's just look in here. Stress related to pride. That's a rather interesting number there, a little bit high. Let's look here. A little bit of overeating and throwing our metabolism over. off, sentimentality, sore, your mind is sore. But look at that major stress at this moment in time is the pericardium. Well, then, let's see, just 4 minutes though. Now let me show you. This is, somebody had asked what that stories thing was, and I finally found it. That's quite an interesting code, and the fact it was a priority for our group, and every now and then we come up with it. So here's what it is for those I can't remember who I'll ask. Here's the allergy scan if anybody wants to add it to what they're doing. And this was interesting too. A few of the musical notes that go with the chakras and a little bit more detailed list of the chakras. And there was Ralph's call. I don't know if anyone got to see it or not, but I'll send this information today, and it makes it rather interesting. And I added some of this to our scan. We're working on self-image. Now we've gone through our minute. What I've been doing, now we're going to take 7 minutes. This is this SSTT to clear any black magic. There's the QiGong. I'm going to have to fill that in later and let y'all know the exact name of that cocktail dispenser. Here's our soul imaging. The next thing we came up with is actually, that's interesting, mindless. Now I'll just go ahead and go back and forth with this for a while. So that is it for today.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good day, everybody.
This concludes the SRC4u Zoom call. Thank you for participating. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well.